The November 2015 BTS was posted today. Here are my insights on how you can make profit this month. Hey guys, it's Divine from Merch.com with BTS Merching Review number 19. If you have any merchanting questions about November after watching the video, feel free to post them below. There will be additional information and advice in the VIP advice section at the top of our forums. November looks like a pretty solid month and a nice change. In August and September, people were drooling all over skilling supplies for bonus XP weekend. In September and October, people were wetting their pants over rares. And now we've got a month that is very gear focused. In the first week, we'll be getting the Wyvern monsters, which drop a level 85 two-handed crossbow. But the trick about these is that as soon as you wear them, you can never resell them. The ability to resell weapons is something people always appreciated. Most people have it as their goal to eventually end up with the highest gear available, so it's a bit weird to sacrifice your cash for a level 85 weapon that you'll eventually move on from. It's just a pure loss of value, which is something we haven't really had so far. Now this will end up making these weapons pretty unpopular, so it won't really influence existing high level ranged weapons that much. They will still be nice flips though, they will cause some fluctuation, especially in the first few days. The interesting part about the wyverns that drop them is their weakness to fire spells, which means that this update is only good for magic gear. This excludes staffs and offhands because you need a dragon fire shield or some custom made worm anti-fire potions. I'm not sure if many people will bother making those, so I would not bother with dragon fire shield or anti-fire potion investments, as we have far more of those in game than people will need for this update. It's really just going to be about the magic gear, but feel free to prove me wrong there and invest in other stuff if you think it's worth it. Moving on to the second week with Ripper Demons. Can any one of you explain me in the comments what the hype or special thing about a Ripper Demon is? I've seen some people fanboy really hard over it, including some JMods, and I have no clue what makes a Ripper Demon so unique and special. Google couldn't tell me either, so maybe you guys can. Anyways, these Ripper Demons will be weak to fire spells as well, so again, only magic gear will be impacted. Their drop is Ripper Demon Claws, but these won't have much intrinsic value as level 90 melee weapons are ridiculously cheap as it is, and pretty much everyone has chaotic weapons. The only thing I may see with these is that few people will bother to kill them, and thus the drop will be valuable for a while because merchants push it up, like we saw happen with the Wildy Worm drops that were pretty valuable for quite a long time, even though very few people actually use them. Now in the third week we get the Camel Warriors, which should be weak to ranged. They will drop a level 85 staff, which reduces the accuracy of your opponent. Most people won't really care much though, as the Noxious Staff and Staff of Darkness are great alternatives that don't absorb your money like this Camel Staff will. People also don't need a staff in any place where getting hit slightly less would make a big difference, so the passive effect that this staff gives is actually pretty irrelevant. In the fourth week we get Mammoths. I'm thinking these will be weak to melee, more specifically to stab, as the first two monsters were weak to magic, the third to ranged, so the fourth should be weak to melee, and I'm also kind of biased because cavemen hunted them with spears a long time ago according to their drawings. Now their drops are really awesome, ingredients to make level 99 summoning pouches, which are the best beasts of burden in game, so these will definitely be interesting for high level players to at least get a bunch of. Moving on to defenders, at first Jagex stated that they would only release melee defenders in November, then one of them said that they would also do magic and ranged in the same month, which is why I said that in my video last week, but apparently they're split up after all and we're only getting melee this month, so yeah, whatever. You may be able to pick up some cheap Barrows items, as a lot of people will be selling those from their rewards, as to get the level 70 defender you need to loot the Barrows chest, and there will be a lot of Barrows rewards from that. You'll also be able to put in some good flips on gear for Nex and the Calphite King, as people will obviously be heading there to try to upgrade their defender. Now it's mentioned in the post that you'll need extra steps to complete the defenders. For the Barrows one, you basically need a two-handed Barrows melee weapon for the melee version, but maybe you can have some fun with them around the day of release. Some people might be just instant buying since it's so cheap anyways. So if you don't have that much money, then this may be something very interesting to look into for you. For the next version, the level 80 defender, you will need a chaotic splint from the Dungeoneering reward shop. So if you want to get this and you don't already have the required tokens, then you might want to be getting those. And for the Calphite Defender, the level 90 version, you will need an offhand Drygore and later on a Seismic Singularity, or an offhand Ascension Crossbow for the magic and ranged versions when those are released. Like I explained in my last video, there are a few places where you would really need a defender, so not many people are going to be willing to sacrifice like 100 mil for a level 90 magic or ranged defender. Unless Jagex forces this onto completionist players, like you must have these level 90 defenders to get your completion escape, which would be quite lousy, but it's possible. Now, some people might bother with the level 90 melee version, I think, because offhand Drygores are so cheap, but that's about it. It's hard to say how many people will be trying to get these right now, so it's best for you to watch this space and get some good gear flips in if it's worth doing it from the looks of it. That's it for this month actually, though I would also recommend you to check out the invention video I made recently. This update is coming up in January and it's likely going to be one of the most profitable updates in years if you invest smart. If you watched until this point, I'm a happy guy. Thank you for your attention. I hope you learned something new and good luck with your merchanting this month.